Hello users, and welcome back to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series in which I talk about politics and how I am better than everybody else. So this bill that's going through the Senate right now. First of all, I've got a lot of opinions on this. It is not nearly enough. It's not nearly enough. We need more money in the hands of everyday Americans, and we need to basically suspend all rent, all most, if not all, bill payments, like, I want to suspend my fucking subscription to fucking Game Informer. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay for that shit, but I want to keep receiving it, of course. But basically, the bill it's decent enough to convince Republicans, like the Republican base, that the Republicans are in it for them. But it's not. But it's the thing about it that really is the crutch here. And I'm gonna play this video of old Mitchie in a moment. But the thing about it is that it gives people a lot of it gives $1,200, I believe, to most Americans. And what that means is people that have incomes underneath 75,000, but I'm sure there's going to be lots of exemptions there just because it's a fucking Republican bill. But it also creates an almost equally sized slush fund that the Treasury is in charge of, the Trump administration Treasury is in charge of, which can be leveraged to bail out corporations at their choosing. And the Democratic people are arguing that we should come together and choose which companies are bailed out instead of creating like a little shadow organization to do so, which I agree with. However, I think you should just scrap that whole thing altogether and just bail out the workers. You should just give all the workers the money, and if a company can't survive, a company can't survive. Like, for example, there's these, I think it was United. The air travel company basically spent 90-something% of their income on buying their own stocks, and then like the stock market goes down, so they just lost all their money. I mean, it's just like, why would you bail them out? Like, nationalize that company. Don't bail them out. Buy them out. You know what I mean? Like, why would you give them money so that they can do stupid shit again? Either buy it out, nationalize the company, or give the money to the workers and turn it into a worker co-op. That's what the fucking Democratic Party should be advocating for, but of course they're not. And they're stonewalling, and Mitch McConnell got mad. So I'm just going to play this video real quick until I get bored of it.
It'll be because of our colleagues on the other side continuing to dicker when the country expects us to come together and address this problem.
Fucking
The legislation has many problems. At the top of the list, it includes a large corporate bailout with no protections for workers and virtually no oversight. Also very troubling in the bill were significant shortfalls of money that our hospitals, states, cities, and medical workers desperately needed. Now, let me be clear. The majority leader was well aware of how this vote would go before it happened, but he chose to go forward with it anyway, even though negotiations are continuing. So who's playing games?
Why are many Democrats right now voting no on cloture? Because we don't think our work is done. We think there's key areas where our values aren't reflected in this bill, and if it's going to be a bipartisan bill, it needs to have come to the middle, not be a Republican-written bill that Democrats are being, frankly, muscled into voting for.
The situation is dire, and it is only going to get worse unless we act, and we act now. We must come together as Republicans and Democrats.
All right, I'm bored. So basically, the idea is they both want to have a compromise, but here's my problem. Like, instead of doing this, oh, we have talks. We're talking. Oh yeah, we're talking. The Democrats need to fucking just go out there and outflank them tremendously. Like just take Rashida Tlaib's bill, muscle that through the House, and then say, here, we've got a bill, mint the fucking coin, bitch. Like, just, like, that's what they should be doing, but they're not. So it's like an anemic, terrible fucking response. They're letting Republicans, like, basically take hold of the narrative here, and honestly, it's a shit show. Like, and I do understand, like, I have sympathies with the Republican plight on this one, just because, like, every day that is stalled is confirmed more deaths, and that's the problem here, is you're letting the Republicans take control of that narrative, because they don't actually care if people die. That's the golden rule here. They just want to try to get reelected. So if they're just dangling this thing and go like, oh yeah, look, just vote for it, and the Democrats play into it, it's just going to make people hate the Democrats and vote to reelect Trump and to reelect Republicans. The Republicans have the key difference that helps them and protects them, that being core fundamental psychopathy. And 99% of Democrats are the same. It's just that their brand is slightly different. So, like, that ever slight change of, say, psychopathy to sociopathy, that's what keeps them in this eternal struggle of being an anemic garbage opposition party. But either way, this is going to be interesting to follow. And again, take the coronavirus seriously. It's not a joke. But if you'd like to see a joke, go check out The Liberty Loop. It's my new series that I started. I cannot describe it. Just go watch it. If you've seen the thumbnails and you're confused and you haven't clicked on one yet, go check it out. I just uploaded an episode of that just before I put this one up. So go check that out, and I will see you again soon. So goodbye.